In some academic courses, such as mathematics, you're oftentimes allowed to bring a one-page cheat sheet with you during an exam. This is meant to be an aid to help answer any of the various questions that could be asked of you during that exam. Most of the time it contains information such as formulas, theorems, techniques for solving various problems. But this is by no means meant to be a replacement for actually going to the class, reading the book, doing the homework. If you haven't done any of those things, this cheat sheet's not going to do you much good. But if you have done these things, this could be a very handy aid to have with you for a quick reference on some specifics that you might not have completely memorized, but once you see it, you know how to apply it. In the prepping and survival world, there is so much reading material out there that's very beneficial to study up on. For example, the most popular book to get is the SAS Survival Guide. This has information, survival techniques as far as setting up a campsite, finding food, purifying water, signaling methods for rescue, first aid information, you name it, it's going to be in this book. There's also PDFs that are available for download for various survival situations. You can also buy e-versions of books, put it on your e-reader, and just have a library of information. One of my favorite little books is the Pocket Reference Manual. This has so much information on it. A lot of it's just factual information, conversions. There's some little first aid in here, knot techniques, as you see there, conversions of here's sandpaper and abrasives. You name it, there's so much stuff in here, it's just kind of hard to list off, but I highly recommend this book. Even though all of these books and the e-reader are fairly small, they're still kind of large if you're talking EDC. For example, you probably don't want to carry around these books with you in your pocket. It's just a little large. You might want to have something that could be on a piece of paper and folded up in an Altoid survival tin. So what I'd like to do today is conduct a little survey here on YouTube and find out what information you would want to have on your one-page survival cheat sheet. So all of the information that are in these books, other reading materials, if you could condense all of those down into a single one-page front and back document, what would you want to include on there? For example, you may want to include water purification techniques, maybe how many drops of bleach does it take to purify a gallon of water versus a liter of water. You could probably have a whole page filled with first aid information, although I find with first aid you either know it or you don't, and having a cheat sheet's not going to do you much good. But there is some first aid stuff that might be beneficial. For example, heart rate and blood pressure differences between an infant in comparison to an adult. How to tie a tourniquet, things like that. There's a whole bunch of other things that you might want to include on your survival cheat sheet, maybe Morse code, other signaling techniques, making shelter, things like that. There's just so many that you could add on here, and you just kind of have to think about how to condense it down into a single one-page document that has the most important and beneficial ones that could be an aid to you during a survival situation. Something else that might be beneficial to have is a cargo decoder. So basically you could download the ERG 2012 user guide, and it has a very extensive list of how to decode the numbers that you see on the side of semi-trucks, on trains that are carrying cargo with hazardous material. For example, you might want to have a condensed version of the classes of materials, a hazard identification code how-to, GHS symbols, kind of what these images represent. You name it, that's going to be included in that particular document. So maybe having a condensed version of that. Brought to you by Mr. Monkeyman 50. So here's what I was hoping I could get your help on. In the comments section below, please write out what you think should be included in a one-page survival cheat sheet. I'd like this to be a collaborative effort here in the YouTube community, so after you've left your own comment, go read through some of the other comments that people have listed. If you like what they have to say, why don't you give it a thumbs up? And if you have so much that you want to say that it can't be included in the comment section below, just send me a private message with all that. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be gathering up all the information that's included in the comment section of this video, and I'm going to be compiling all of it and putting it into a one-page survival cheat sheet that you could download as a PDF. So I'm hoping that this will be a valuable aid not only for myself but for others. It's not going to be a replacement for actually doing the studying and the reading of these particular books, but as a quick aid during the ultimate of tests, a survival situation, it may be very beneficial to have. So again, please write down in the comment section below what you think should be included in a one-page survival cheat sheet.